y'all, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Truth Carpet. It is season 6, episode 7, with your best friend duo, Love Loud LLC. It is me, Monie, and you already know that I'm with my bestie.
Yeah, skis. I get thrown off every time you say your nickname opposed to your real name. But I guess they know if they've been listening, they know who we are.
Yeah, but people call me Moni. People know me by Moni. Okay, it's so funny when I call some people and they be like, "Hey, Moni," I'll be like, "Well, that is me."
I get thrown off when coworkers call me my nickname.
Not to they
That's
be like,
when I throw me
Yaya.
off. Yeah, I be like, how you know? But everywhere I've worked, there's been someone who knew me in regular life. So now I'm at this new job. It's just unique. Right now, it's just unique. We're gonna keep it at that. But yeah, I love your nickname. I be forgetting your real name.
No, it's so funny being at work. Like when people call me by my real name, I sometimes I forget it's my name because like we go by last names.
Yeah,
I'm always called Loud. Where's Loud at? It's Miss Loud.
would
So when
allow
somebody
that.
calls my phone, I be like, "Are you? Come on now, look up. The kids are here. Don't be calling me by my government." No.
That's how I felt when I went to your job, and they were like, "Who's that?" I wanted to say, "Oh, I'm Moni's best friend," but I had to
Now
remember.
they had them calling me Miss Moni. No.
Right. Well, Miss Loud, gotta remember that. But how are you feeling? Your skin looks good, girl.
Thank you. Because I'm feeling good. I feel like I'm back in my creative bag. I just been doing just a lot of things that I love to do that fulfills me and helps me feel whole. Yesterday I had a little photo shoot, little something for me. It was something I've been meaning to do since my birthday because I hadn't done one since my 30th. And the one photographer that I reached out to never got back to me. I was like, okay, they don't want to make no money.
Right.
So I ended up linking up with another photographer who travels to different states. So I just waited until she came back to New York and I had my shoot yesterday for my birthday, which was ironically on my mom's birthday. Shout out to my mama. Hey girl. But it was so much fun. At first I was like, dang, I ain't done this in a minute. You gotta get your sea legs back. You gotta, warm up, get those first few shots in. Then it just felt natural. So I'm like, it felt good to just be in my creative directing space, my modeling space, just being creative in different ways. I really, really love that. Even with me teaching, I'm just figuring
Mhm.
out different ways of teaching my lessons and figuring out ways for the kids to be creative. It helps me to be creative, just continue to kind of switch things up and throw different things in to see what works and what doesn't. So I'm like, whether it's work, whether it's personal, I just really feel like I have a lot of creative energy. And I honestly think it has to do with the change in the weather. I'm like, yes, this weather is
Yeah.
nice. It's been sunny. It's been warm. Melanin is popping, period. So I'm loving being outside, going for my Saturday morning walks. I've been walking a lot. And I'm like, I'm hoping walking keep the fat off. That's
I
what
feel
I'm
like you
hoping.
a lot.
Yes. But actually, I don't, you know what? The first time I don't have it on today. I didn't put it on.
Yeah.
I just my something is off. Your watch is not on. Then also too, I did a deep clean of my room. So yes, I usually do a clean, like a little, like a little sweeping, a little swiftering or whatever. But I did like when you move stuff and get behind, make sure you get like all the little dust bunnies, whatever. I did a deep, deep clean. And it felt
Yes.
so good to just do that. Like cleanse my space. I lit candles. It was just like, oh, it felt so
Did
fresh.
you have music on?
I did. I was twerking in between sweeps. But I loved it. Like just it felt like a fresh start, new beginning. Just being able to do that deep clean of my space in the kitchen. Today I'm gonna do the bathroom. But it was nice to just have that. So between me having that newfound energy and cleansing my space, I feel good. I feel really good. How you feeling?
How'd you feel good? I feel, girl, well, you know how I've been feeling this week. It's been rough trying to find my footing with my new job. I haven't had a transition in a long time. So it's like been a long time since I've been the new person. So just trying to make sure that I'm catching the balls as they're juggling new tasks to me, not those balls. you know, she's over here, if you're not watching, she over here acting like you know. If you know, you know. But yeah, I'm just trying to. I'm not trying. I am managing the task. And I'm also proud of myself for speaking up on things like, hey, I'm new. I haven't been taught this, but I'm open to learning it. Like, I'm making sure that I say that because I don't want any clause, I guess, to come about and give me a write up when you never taught this to me. But the team and my supervisor are all saying that they like how I advocate for myself, which helped me to feel better because my anxiety gets through the roof sometimes and I like feel like defeated a lot of times because I'm that Virgo in me wants to be perfect and wants to have everything so properly organized, and just hearing other people say, I've had that trouble too, or I'm glad that you're speaking up, that helped me to feel better.
Yes.
But outside of work, I've been feeling better because I've been getting a lot of steps in. When
Come on,
we
step, step, step.
when we went on our family trip recently, one day we were getting like 20,000 steps in, and then another day we were getting like, it was always over 10,000 steps. And then that reminded me when I went to somewhere else, it was the same thing, like walking everywhere. But when I'm home, I'm driving everywhere. As of recent, with my new job, I've been getting a lot of steps in, burning calories in my day to day. My old job, I sat at the desk a lot, I drove a lot, and the most steps I would get in is probably like 100 steps a day. So going from 100 to averaging now, the minimum by the morning 6,000 steps is it feels so good, and I'm happy to say that I've dropped about 5 pounds just with yeah. Thank you. Consistently walking, watching my eating, using this app to count my calories, telling myself, "Yo, you don't need that snack. You don't need that snack. You're just bored." So, yeah, because I'm really trying to get to my goal of getting rid of this muffin top that I had and feeling better.
Top.
Would you say?
Bye bye, muffin top.
Baba muffin top and cinnamon rolls.
Oh, so yes, amen. Yo, I did
Yeah.
a juice cleanse. Was it last week? Maybe 2 weeks ago at this point. I did a juice cleanse. And I always usually do one, maybe like every 4 months. I do a juice cleanse for about 3 days.
Hmm.
And from that juice cleanse, I think I lost about 4 pounds, which I felt great. It was worth me having to do the juice cleanse. I always lose a few pounds. Mind you, within a day or two, I think by that next week I had gained it all back, and I was so bloated. I'm like, you, this woman body. I said, mind you, I hadn't been overeating or doing anything. It was just my body doing what it does. When I tell you I was bloated, you would have thought I was like 2 months pregnant. That's how bloated I was, and I felt so uncomfortable. I felt heavy. I couldn't eat. But I had gained it all back, and I was like, "What is wrong with my body?" Then a couple days later, it went back down to normal. My stomach was back to normal. I was like, you know what? This is why I don't like getting on the scale.
Hmm.
Yes, I like to keep track of like I'm reaching my goal, but at the same time, I don't know when my body is going to be keeping track of my goal.
I
Like,
get on the scale, but even the times that I don't get on the scale, I can feel a difference. Like I feel it physically, but I also see it and notice it because I'm trying to put on pants that fit 3 days ago. Now they don't fit today.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
just like
button clothes. I'm like, okay, I got space.
yeah, knowing what time of month these clothes are for and how your weight fluctuates and everything like that is important. I wanted to say something, but I totally forgot. But it's
It'll come
okay.
back to you. Take your time, baby. Think about it.
No, it's okay. We can move on.
All right, so you ready for me to run it down? Run it down. Run it down.
Yep.
All right, wonderful. Because this episode we're doing something a little different. So in today's episode, season 6, episode 7, I are going to be skipping over our no icebreaker today, no sweet 223, and no dorm story. Hot topics, as Yaya would say. We're talking about traveling. We are talking about traveling. We are two besties that have never traveled together. Can you believe it or not? As long as we've been friends, we've traveled sorta, kinda, but we're gonna be answering some questions about our best, our worst, our dream vacations, and maybe figure out where Yaya and I are finally going to go together outside of the country. And then we're gonna wrap up the episode, of course, with the community news segment because that's how we do. This episode is a little different, giving y'all something new. Pew pew.
My
Yes.
goodness.
It's gonna be fun though. We got a lot to talk about. It's gonna be a healthy travel experience episode. So y'all get ready.
Yes.
Let's
And
go.
without further ado, let's head on over to our hot topics segment. Bye. Y'all, we are now in our hot topic segment where we are going to talk about travel. This has been on my mind because I know
Why?
I just went somewhere, but I'm ready to go somewhere else. Like I need to save
Girl, tell me about it.
this PTO. You know, I blame Trish. Happy birthday, Trish. But I blame Trish because we were just talking about travel. So that's probably why it's been on my mind. So I broke my pen.
How you do that? Lord have mercy. Come on, girl. We talk about
Anywho, Molly and I are going to talk about travel today. So, first question: what was the most unforgettable vacation you've ever taken and why? Why is it unforgettable?
for me, out of all the places I have been, um,
So hard.
it is hard, but I'm going to choose Bali. Because yes, I just went to Uganda and that was an unforgettable experience. But the reason why I'm choosing Bali is because of the transformation I felt like I had while I was in Bali. It was very spiritual, it's very
Mhm.
relaxing, but it was also fun. One of the best parts of that trip is I can't remember what it's called. But we basically went to this pool of water where we cleansed ourselves. It was like starting anew, and we did it right before the new year started. I was able to pray about my dreams and my aspirations and what I wanted in my life. It's like a ritual. You went in, we prayed, we yes, I think cleanse your face a few different times at these different sections of this pool. It was very therapeutic. I really felt like I went in one person and came out another person from that experience. It was very, very beautiful. I definitely cried a few times. I felt like I was releasing a lot of things that I no longer needed in my life. But Bali overall is a very calm, spiritual, rejuvenating space. And I will definitely go again. But from that experience, I'm like, yes, that was the most unforgettable vacation. Putting that one at the top of my list, just from the
Yeah.
entire vibe that I got from the trip itself. It was just so beautiful, so
That
beautiful.
makes me want to break out my sound bowl.
Yes, I did. I definitely got the sound bowls in Bali. Got a sound bowl in Bali.
It is very hard, especially being able to travel different places. Every place is unique in its own way.
Hmm.
But whenever someone brings up travel, I always think about New Zealand. That's the first trip that I've ever had when I talked about it 2 episodes ago when I was in the newspaper with my mom.
That was the
Um,
last episode, but yes.
Thank you. Last episode when I was in the newspaper with my mom. That's the first time I ever left the country. And when we got there, I didn't know what to expect. I just knew I was going to be away from my mommy and my family for 10 days. And it as soon as we got there, like to the countryside of New Zealand, it was just breathtaking how scenic it was. The grass was nice and green. They had like this little hut there, the water, the canoes. It's not called canoes, but like their water boats that they had and everything. And then when we went inside the hut, these men came singing their mayoral songs, the tribal songs and everything. Some of them were tatted, some of them weren't. And just doing their rituals, the traditions and everything. And it was just like, I was just in awe. Like, oh my God, this is so cool. We experienced, so on the countryside, we stayed there for the first few days and then we went to the city for the last. And we learned how to weave baskets. The boys, because we were kids, the boys had to learn how to turn on the heat to warm up the water so we could shower, learning like different songs in their language, just going to their schools, which they call university, and seeing how they go through their school day, go through their day to day. It was a lot. Roll horses on the. If you ever saw, oh my god, I can't even think of the movie, but like basically it's like hills and hills of grass, like mountains of grass, and then we roll up and down the hills with the horses, and then off the side of the mountain, and then into the water. And one of my friends actually fell off a horse. It was so funny, but just the experiences that a child you would never dream of to get. And then there was another fun excursion, I'll say, where we were on another hill and we got into this big You ever saw the movie Bubble Boy? He's like this, and it's big clear.
Yes, yes, yes.
You get into the big clear ball, and they push you down the hill, and you're like bouncing and rolling. It was so much fun. And then another excursion we did was like imagine Mario Kart, like the little tiny car, but it's a box, like a box, homemade box, and you're like riding down a mountainside,
Oh, that sounds
all
good.
of that stuff. As a child, this is my first time out of the country with my teachers, with my classmates, and just like seeing how beautiful life outside of America is. Like, yes, America has beautiful places too, but it's more to explore. And New Zealand, I say too, is unforgettable because for a while I didn't travel as an adult. And I always said, come on now, like to myself, I can't let teenage Yaya, little Yaya, I'll be adult Yaya. Like I have to, I'm too grown. This is my thinking. Not everybody has to think like this, but I'm too grown to keep telling people that I went to New Zealand when I was 13. Like, like I gotta, so it always motivated me to go other places and see more things. And the other things that I've seen were either as great, greater, or less, and made me appreciate life more, make me want to do more. So that's why New Zealand, I will never forget that. It's my first adventure, and it opened my eyes to what life has to offer.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. I've never been to New Zealand. Actually, I don't even. When was the first time I was ever out of the country? I believe, Mama, if you're listening, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the first time out of the country, I was 16 and we took a family vacation to Mexico. I believe that
Oh,
was the
nice.
first time I was out of the country, if I remember correctly. It was a lot of fun. We have lots of pictures from it. I think that's the first time we were out of the country. Mexico. I think we went to Cancun.
Mexico, yes. All right. Is there a place you've been that totally surprised you for better or worse?
That totally surprised me. For better or for worse, I don't know. I'm not sure how to answer this question because now I'm thinking like the trip itself surprised me,
For the
maybe not
place.
necessarily the place.
Okay.
All right, so Beyonce Renaissance concert.
Okay. Oh, I forgot. Okay, go ahead.
Me and Shardea, we had tickets to go see Beyonce in Toronto.
Hmm.
In the car on the way to the airport, we get messages that our flight is canceled on the way to the airport. And they wanted to give us tickets, to give us new tickets the day after the concert was over.
Wow.
Airport. And we like, oh no, we gotta go see Beyonce. Like, what do you mean
Yeah.
tickets the day after the concert's already done? So we're looking up, we gonna get there by train, we gonna get there by bus. There were no trains available, no buses available. We had to rent a car. I think we had got one of the last rental cars that was available
Dang.
at the
That would
airport,
be
kind of
stress.
with other people trying to go see Beyonce, trying to figure out, is there another flight that we can catch? Like, how are we going to get there? Thankfully, we were able to get a rental car. We had an 8-hour drive up to Toronto to see Beyonce.
Mm.
And I'm like, this experience had to have happened for me to be able to tell a story about it. Because when I tell you, we drove through some boonies and I saw tumbleweeds go by. And I'm like, what are we driving through? What is this? And I hate driving in the dark, but oh my gosh. I was like, I'm like, Beyonce, I did this for you, girl. Was it worth it? Was it worth getting, girl? That experience, I was like, you have to be kidding me. It sounded like it was a movie. Like, now how we gonna go see Beyonce?
Wow.
Like that was one of the crazy experiences I've had. I've never been on my way to the airport and getting a message saying flight canceled.
I would have stressed the heck out.
We were stressed. My gosh, like, and then I we get back, I return the car, and I'm getting messages from the rental car place telling me I never returned the car. Hold up, wait a minute. I don't have the car anymore. What do you mean y'all can't find the car?
What? Wow, that's crazy.
I was stressed before I left. I was stressed when I got back. Eventually, they found the car. I was like, yo, what kind of experience am I having? But Toronto itself, it was actually very nice. I was like, if I was going to move to Canada, I was like, I could move to Toronto. I could see that. It was very nice. The food was good. The
Yeah.
experience great. Beyonce put on a great show. But
Of
just that
course.
experience alone, when I think about travel, I was like, that was one of the most stressful travel experiences I've ever had. Like I've had experiences being stuck in an airport. I remember being stuck in an airport in Houston one year because of the storm. And I remember
Arizona.
in Arizona because of a storm. But that one, having to drive through rain, sleet, snow, hail, tumbleweed, I'm exaggerating, but I felt like we
Okay.
drove through every terrain possible trying to get up to Toronto, drive and making sure we don't stop nowhere. We might be is this a sundown town? Where are we? Ain't no black folk. Right. I was like, I don't want to be taken on my way to go see Beyonce. Can we not get gas here? Like, can we fill up where there are actual people? Or maybe no people, actually. Matter of fact, can we fill up where it's just us and we can go on about our day? Sir, I
You
just
make
want
me
to get gas, sir.
yes. You making me think about cars when they left the town and it was like nothing out there.
That's what it felt like. I was like, where are we? We just trying to go see Beyonce.
That's how I felt when we were driving to Las Vegas. I was like, where are we? There's nothing out here.
Oh, we did randomly drive to Vegas for Kia's birthday.
Yeah.
That was the most random trip we've ever did. It's like, you want to go to Vegas? Yeah, let's just drive. Oh wow.
But yeah, Toronto is a beautiful place. I went there for Carnival. One time we drove too, and we rented a car, well, SUV. But when I went to the rentals place, they only had basically like the size of an Escalade. I can't think of the car we had, but it was a big old truck. I'm 5'3". I'm like, how you think I'm going to tote this thing? But we made it. We didn't scratch the car or nothing. And the Airbnb we had was like right in the center of every hot place that we wanted to go.
Yes, walking distance.
Even when we went to the karaoke spot, the black karaoke, I forget what it's called, that we went some years ago for my birthday.
Karaoke.
Yeah. We went to Trap Karaoke. We was like, this is in walking distance too. But we took an Uber there. We were too early and walked back. We were like, this was so close. But it's a very beautiful place. I would definitely go back there too. But to answer this question, the place that totally surprised me was Ecuador. And it's funny, it's the second place that I've been out the country on a school trip. Went to New Zealand. It's a beautiful place. Had the greatest time. Next place was Ecuador. I'm a kid, so I'm expecting the same thing, like just a beautiful place, grass, things to do, adventures, like all the good things, horseback riding, shopping, all that stuff. Um, but just Spanish, like maybe they just speak Spanish. When we got there, it was the opposite. So at that time, because I've had coworkers that told me they're Ecuadorian, they told me that things have changed now. But when we got there, it felt like a poor town
Mm.
with rich amenities. So I remember the hotel that we stayed in was very nice. Food was good, everything was good. But on the street, there were kids out there panhandling, selling their arts and crafts, selling like little knickknacks and stuff. And we felt really bad. Like like, okay, let's give them some of our souvenir money because never have I in America seen kids when they should be in school outside asking for money. And then I remember one night, my teacher had got on me and my friend because this girl came to us with a baby in her arms. A girl, not like a teenager, like a little girl with a baby. And the Spanish that we picked up that she said was her dad was dead. Her dad was dead. Her mother was in the hospital and she needed money so that her and her baby brother could eat. So we both gave her money and we felt bad. So my teacher was like, "What are y'all doing?" We're like, "Oh, we were talking to the girl. We felt bad for her." And he said, we told the teacher what she said, and he said, she lied to y'all. You didn't see her mother was in the corner telling her what to do. We're like, no, we didn't. Like, we focused on the little girl. And he said, that's the culture out there for them to, especially if they know you're a tourist, to ask you for money. And then another part was being like in this area where there was this cathedral made of gold. It was most beautiful cathedral I ever saw. And then other buildings made of gold and gems and all this other stuff. But meanwhile, you got people that's homeless outside. So I guess at that time it was they were struggling. Maybe the country was not at its best, but I did hear that it's made progress. But that trip overall, I mean, there was some fun times. We had good times there too. But that wasn't my expectation. Those parts were not what I expected when I was there. And it helped me to be grateful. So New Zealand made me want to venture more and see more of what the world has to offer. Going to Ecuador made me grateful for what I do have and appreciative because there were times where I wish Beyonce was my mom and Whitney Houston was my mom as a kid, like, because I wanted to have more and be rich and stuff. But, there's some people who don't have it as good as you have it. You may think that you're suffering, but there's people who don't have it as good as you have it.
Absolutely. That's how it's similar to my experience that I had when I went to Uganda. But I think the difference in that experience was the fact that they don't see themselves as having less, and they were
Yeah,
still enjoying life with what they had. I thought that was so beautiful.
yeah, I love that too. All right, what's your go-to travel vibe? Adventure packed or chill and slow?
Mix them up, baby. Mix them up. I like a combo. Boom, boom, pow. Mix it up. Some days I just want to. I like to have. It might just be a day where we just chilling, doing nothing, lay by the pool, make it real leisure. A day of let's do what you want to do. We might have another day where we all come together. We doing activities. We eating. We going out. Like I like to have it. I like to have it mixed
Yes.
because there's so many different things that you can discover in places, especially when you're like going on excursions or like just seeing what the that place has to offer. I love going on a good adventure, but at the same time, when it comes to vacation, I like to rest. I like to sleep. I don't want to feel like I'm on this super strict schedule all the time where it feels like I'm not enjoying myself now because we got to be here, we got to go here, we got to go change. Yeah, it has to be a good balance between rest and fun because I unless the trip is made for solely for relaxation, like I'm here for massages and serene and to just chill and relax. Unless that's what the trip is planned for, I like a good balance of both. Like, am I on a retreat or am I, it just depends. It just honestly, it just depends on the place. Cause I like to have fun. And I love trying new things, especially when it comes to food. I will eat the whole time. Drink some food. What we
Yeah.
going next? We taking a nap? Yeah, and now we're going out to eat again.
Yep.
Yep, that's the vibe. And especially when it comes to trying new activities that I've never done before. I mean, when I was in Bali, we did the ATV ride. That was amazing. I'm like doing like some zip lining and jet skiing and never done cliff jumping. I probably never will. But like just discovering different things to do in different countries, I think it makes the experience that much more fulfilling and memorable. Just being able to just have a combination of those things. But there has to be a leisure day somewhere. If there's a schedule, there has to be a leisure day in there, a day where we do nothing.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Because I don't think there's anything wrong with having a schedule, depending on the type of trip that you want to have and the things that you want to do and where you want to go. I've done that before where it's like, okay, in the morning we're doing this, afternoon, everybody's free to do whatever. We'll come back together in the evening. I just
Mhm.
don't like it when it's jam packed back to the y'all going ahead. I'm gonna stay here and rest.
Heavy on the Imma stay here and rest because I paid. You're not about to tell me what to do on my vacation. Yes, you may have been the one to say, "Hey, let's go to this place," but you didn't pay for me to go. So if I don't want to do that, and you're not paying for me to do this excursion, so if I
Mhm.
want to stay in an Airbnb or hotel or on a resort and not do that, then I'm not afraid to say that. But everything else that you answered, that's my answer too. I'm not gonna go someplace and stay at the resort, at the hotel, at the Airbnb. I could do that at home. I paid money to come and explore this place, so let's explore. Same thing. I don't want to do something every single day. Maybe every other day, or like in the morning we rest, afternoon we do something. But I don't want to go home exhausted and have to take 5 more days of vacation before I go to work. Same answer as you, 100% for real.
Yeah. Also, too, I think it's also depending on the balance too, like who you are traveling with. I think some people underestimate, like, know your traveling buddies. If you should expect that this person is going to stay and not do this thing, and that should be fine. Like
Hmm.
everybody's not going to want to do everything.
Yeah.
everybody has their own vibe. Not to say that they're not going to be able to have fun on the trip. Just everybody's not going to want to do everything. And
Well, that's why. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I think one thing that helps with that is like just how you plan out the trip. Like, are there certain things that we want to do? Do we want to just play it by ear and see what happens when we get there? Because I found that some of the best experience come from when some things weren't even planned to do. It's just kind of
Hmm.
like, you know what? We didn't have nothing planned, but hey, I found this. Y'all want to go check this out? Sure, let's go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I love going with my mom places because whether it's just me and her or me, her, and a group of people, my mom is always down for whatever. So if I want to go ride a horse, she gonna ride a horse. If I want to do ATVs, she gonna do ATVs. I'm never doing the jet skis with her again because she scared the heck out of me when we were in Haiti. And she was like, "Okay, we'll do it, but I'm not doing it by myself." So she's on the back and she's like, she's like, she thinks I don't jump the waves. I'm like, Mom, you're making me scared now. I'm trying to catch up to them. We already behind because you keep yeeping and yapping in the back. Like, be
Keep
quiet.
it
But I
yapping.
said, the only time I'll ever do it, the jet skis again is if I'm with my man because I'm never,
But you
she
you
scared the heck
you
out of
gonna
me.
ride on the back or you driving?
He probably gonna make me ride on the back or maybe ride my own, but ride my own, I'll be lost in the back too. So I'm gonna have to ride on the back.
Don't wait. I'm trying to catch up.
Right. But going with the group too was fun when I went to Thailand with Priscilla and them
Hmm.
because we wanted to do zip lining. And the guys, they're like 6'5", 6'4", and they're like, yeah, no. And they big guys, they're not like skinny, they big and tall. So they're like, yeah, we ain't getting on no zip line. Y'all go do that, and we go do what we want. So I love how we were able to break up into groups too, because we're out in the jungle, right? And you don't want to split up and I'm doing what I want to do by myself. So I like that group too. Like they were down for whatever. What I do not like is, like I said before, going someplace, not having a plan and not wanting to do something. I'm not gonna go to IHOP every single day or
Right.
go to the same club every single day. We got 3 days. Let's go explore. Like this place is known for this thing. Let's go do that thing.
Hmm.
I don't wanna I'm not the same, well, maybe I am, but I was gonna say I'm not the same Yaya here that I am out there. Like, I don't go clubbing at home. But if somebody has a birthday, maybe I'll go. But if we in the country, let's go to the club. Tulum is known for this place. Let's go. Like, let's take this nap real quick. We about to be out. Like, let's have fun while we're here. Cause I
Absolutely.
also I don't like to recycle places either. Like if I've been to Tulum before, I don't need to go again. Maybe if one of my best friends have something for their birthday or wedding, all right, I'll go back. But you're not gonna hear me say I want to go to Tulum again because I've
Mhm.
been there. I've explored it.
Period. I'm going somewhere else.
Right, let's listen. It's so many places to see, you know?
Many, too many. The vast
Have
one.
you ever had a total vacation disaster, whether it's funny, frustrating, something that you had to deal with? Aside from the Beyonce.
Ooh, let me think. Let me think. Let me think. I mean, a complete disaster. Oh, I feel like every trip that I have been on, I don't know, it has their own like special place in my heart as far as like the experience that I had with each one, whether I was traveling with family, whether I was traveling with friends, whether I did something by myself. I feel like I haven't had an experience I was like, yeah, I'm never doing that again, or I'm never going there again.
Yeah,
They just all have their specific a special place and list of love that I have for that particular trip. Because it might have
yeah,
been for a birthday, it might have been for a wedding, it might have been for a baby shower. I feel like um it's important to travel to have different experiences. But yeah, I honestly cannot think of a trip where I'm just like, that was the
that was a
worst trip
disaster.
I've ever been on.
Yeah, same. I can't think of, and I've never had a disaster. Like, I've had things that happen, and I was like, okay, we need to fix this. We need to
Yeah,
talk about this. We need to get out of this hotel room. Like, or Dad, I want to go home. Like something like that, but not something that's been a total disaster. The quote unquote worst thing that's happened to me was I paid for the flights for vacation and then the trip got canceled and I was stuck because I didn't have insurance. So I've learned to when I buy flights or concert tickets, whatever it is. I'm the insurance girl.
That
Except
insurance,
there was
you.
one concert that I paid for this year that we didn't get insurance for. But everything else, everything else since that trip canceled, I was like, never again. I need my money back if I'm not going to do it. So, but yeah, there's never been like a disaster or anything else. And knock on wood, I never want that.
Happen either.
Right.
No,
Because, like
no,
I said, when things are feeling down, we turn it upside down or right side up and
not
fix
up,
it.
because
Because
I'm
we
like,
here, let's enjoy ourselves.
things happen. You get in the mood, like people, we're human, things
Hmm.
happen. But there's also you gonna keep that same energy, or we gonna switch it up. We gonna change it up. So it's like, yeah, I'm no,
But
no.
also too, I've heard what is her name? Mandy B, another podcaster. One time she shared that she's at a big age where she's gonna pay for her own hotel room. She's gonna do whatever. Like I said earlier, I pay for me to get here. I'm gonna have fun. So if you wanna sit here and be in a funk or sleep and I'm wide awake, I'm gonna go out. You tracking me. You know, everybody knows the hotel. I always, no matter where I go, make sure I send my hotel information, my flight information to my group chat. Ronald was tracking me, Lambs is tracking me, Simone is tracking me. God forbid something happens, they know where I'm at. But also whoever I'm traveling with, like me and Brittany, we went to Mexico together,
Mm,
and prior to that trip, we never tracked each other. But now we track each other. Same thing, Courtney. When I went to Atlanta by myself, Courtney was never tracking me, but she was there. So now she's tracking me. Like I always have people that's the close to me in life, like best friends and stuff, but also people who are going on these trips or in that city that I'm in. Okay, now you're tracking me because God forbid something happened, you're very close to me.
mhm.
But knock on wood, thank God I've never had to deal with a disaster or anything like that.
Absolutely,
What's
absolutely.
something on your bucket list that you still want to go to, like a place?
Too many, honestly, too many.
I give me two.
I'll just name a few. So Japan is definitely on my list. I really, really, really want to go to Japan.
Yeah.
Greece is on my
Yes.
list. I really want to go to Greece. Barcelona and Italy. Oh my gosh. That's my top four right now. But then also too, I've been discovering new places that honestly I didn't even know exist, like these small little islands. I'm like, oh my gosh, why have I never heard of this country? One that I've just recently heard of is one of the Caribbean islands. I hope I pronounce it right because I say it wrong every time. I think it's called Dominica. Don't when I first saw it, I'm like, Dominican Republic is not the DR. It's just,
Okay.
is it Dominica or Dominica? But I found out they speak Creole. It's a small island in the Caribbean. I had never heard of it. And I was like, oh wow. And I looked it up. I'm like, this place is beautiful. I'm like, so let me go ahead and add this to my list.
Yeah.
This is where I need to be traveling to at some point. And I'm like, because the islands they're like you could make a trip where you go from this island to the next island. And then if you really wanted to like
Yeah.
really spend some time in the Caribbean and just go from island to island, like make a trip like that. Cause I was seeing how close they are to one another.
Hmm.
I'm like, I don't know how far, as far as like plane or like taking one, like a ferry from
A
one
boat.
island to another one. But I was like, I'm planning now to make it possible to be in the Caribbean for a while and just discover different islands at some point. I'm like that. Yeah, I like discovering new places and being like, wow, I didn't even know that place existed.
Yeah. That's so cool. Especially when you're in a place and you can get your bang for your buck. Like when we went to Thailand, we traveled by plane to three other places that was three places within Thailand, Bangkok and other places. And that was so cool. Like, okay, we didn't just go to Bangkok, we went to all these places. And then we went to Paris. After Paris, we went to London. Like, let's get some bang for our buck. So I will say all the places that you named, except for Dominica, I didn't hear of it, but
Girl, look it up. Like I did. Look it up, girl.
yeah, I mean the way that people's word of mouth and also technology is, you do hear of places all the time that you're adding to your list. But one place for sure, I've never been to Texas, so I want to go to Texas to experience that.
Sis, come on, when we going to Houston? Ah.
Right. Whether it's Dallas or Houston, I'm open. I just want to experience what it's like down there. I feel like everyone who knows me know that I want to go to Dubai and
Yeah.
Egypt, Cairo, Egypt. I definitely want to go there for sure. I was saving my money for that, but I used that to go to Italy, so I gotta start saving again. To go there, and then I mean, there's so many places, like you said, Greece,
I just named a few.
Nigeria, so many places that I want to venture to. But right now, top is Dubai. Then I want to go somewhere with my boyfriend and somewhere with my best friend.
A period.
Yeah, I really want to go on a cruise. I would love a cruise again because I
Yes.
really want cruise, and the best thing is that you think, not I think, what I loved is you get to sample places that you will want to go. So when I went to a Caribbean cruise, we stopped in Haiti, we stopped in Mexico, we stopped in Cayman Islands and Jamaica, and I forget what else. And I was saying to myself, oh, if I got a chance, I would go to Mexico again. I would go to Jamaica again, which we did.
Mhm.
Like, I love that. So if I got to go on a cruise again, even if it's not a Caribbean cruise, a cruise is so cool.
Yes, absolutely. Love how you mentioned that you can sample places that you would want to go when you're on a cruise. I remember the first cruise I went on, me and my mom went to the Bahamas, St. Martin, and St. Thomas. So I'm like, I look forward to actually one day just spending time in one of those places alone.
Yeah.
How I said before, depending on how close they are, I might be able to just spend a few days here, boom, hop on a plane or take a boat or a ferry, and then spend a couple of days in another place. So that's definitely a great example of being able to sample other countries. The reason I also love cruises too is because if you've never been on a cruise, I highly recommend. Some people are like, I don't want to be in the middle of the water. Cruises are so much fun. There's so much to do on the boat in between places that you are going. From shows, the food, the activities. It's just I love a cruise. I really do.
Yeah.
There's literally something for everybody. Whether you have kids, you got the grandparents, you got your what the millennials, you got the Xers or whatever they're called. But like
Different generations of people on the
there's
boat.
literally something for everybody. And if you are able to, I highly recommend when you are on the cruise, do the chef's table. Do the chef's table. It's a great experience. I've done it twice. Do the chef's table.
Well, I would say, know your body. Because some people I've heard that they had a horrible experience on cruises because they felt sick the whole time. So if you get motion sickness and things like that, maybe the cruise is not best. But if you do get that, you may want to get a room on a higher level or a room with a deck
And get some
because I
tummy. remember
remember
I think that's what it's called.
when the boat started moving, initially I started feeling sick. And I had a room that was like under kinda. And then when I went to my aunt's room, I felt better. And then the rest of the trip I felt okay. But that's the trip that I definitely slept. My cousins were laughing. They were like, why did our parents have more fun than you did? And I was like, I was napping. And then also I was the only one in my age group and everyone else that I saw that looked my age, they were there with significant others. So it was like I can't be your third wheel and this kind of feels a little weird. And then it was either um grown up club and teen club. And I didn't want to be there like by myself just because I'll go out to eat and movies and stuff by myself, but I'm not going to the club by myself. So yeah, but yeah, they had parades, they had nice dinners where I felt like I was a royal person, like dressing up for the chef's dinners and stuff. You could order all you want. My next cruise is definitely gonna be Royal Caribbean again or something that's nice, not no ranky dank cruise.
My plan is to go on Virgin Voyages because that is the adults only cruise. I'm like, yes,
Well, I want adult only.
I want to
Yeah.
experience that one. That one has really great reviews. So I'm at the next cruise I go on, I'm getting on Virgin.
Okay, so based on everything we talked about, should we finally plan a trip together? I think that's a given yes.
Yes, that no questions asked, hands down, period. Matter of fact, where we going? Let's start planning it right now. I'm about to Google some places. Matter of fact, you can get a round trip right now, 5:30 to Dominica. When we going?
Oh my god.
I looked at
So I think a resort for sure. I want to go somewhere with you,
it.
a resort where we could get massages and then excursions, ATVs. Like you're that type of person that you and I, we like the same stuff.
Yep.
So you
Which
like
is why
tequila,
I
I
don't
do not like
understand why we
tequila.
ain't been on no trip together. It just don't make sense. Why have we not traveled out the country? Well, technically we did go to Jamaica, but something with just us. We've never done a trip.
Something that's not for somebody else.
Right.
Is what you're saying. So we will be planning a bestie trip. If you're listening, if you have any ideas of what's a good place for besties to go, but it's not. I'm not going back to Tulum. But somewhere that we would thoroughly enjoy. I have to save my PTO and my coins, but we definitely will be making it happen
Yeah,
for
we gotta
sure.
let's plan for next year.
Next year.
Next
Yeah.
year, we definitely got to plan for next year. Yeah,
Yes, I agree.
I start planning. I start planning my trips a year in advance. I'll be ready. People are like, how you always going somewhere? I plan it out. I save my money and I do what I need to do to get to where I want to go.
Period. Well, yeah, but yeah, leave your comments in the comment section on the YouTube, wherever you can, and let us know
Give
some
us
ideas that you have.
ideas of where we should go. Out the country specifically, please. We can do Texas
Yeah,
anytime.
yes. And with that being said, I think we're done for this segment,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
little tidbits, little snippet episode for y'all. We give y'all little hot topics. And now we're gonna head on over into the community.
Community news.
It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements. Hey, you made it to the end. Congratulations. Make sure that you all are following us on social media so you can give us the suggestions that we need to travel together on IG. Make sure you're following on YouTube. Comment under our post. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, some topics that you want us to talk about. We can do more mini episodes like this, but we need to know what we're going to talk about. Give us some ideas. We appreciate the support. We appreciate our recent subscribers, the recent follows that we have. Thank y'all. The recent listens that we have, the recent streams. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, and if you've traveled to some place that you want to let us know your worst adventure, your best adventure, things that you suggest when we go to these places, traveling tips, let us know in the comments as well. If you are not subscribed, come on now. Hurry up and subscribe. You
Hurry
don't
up
gotta
and
pay.
subscribe.
Hurry up
Hurry
and
up and subscribe.
subscribe.
Hurry up
Yes.
and subscribe.
Subscribe, share, like our videos so that we can get more exposure and things like that. If you don't have any Love Loud merch, stop by our website while it's still live, www.loveloud.com.
Absolutely. And with that, we're gonna wrap this one up, y'all. We're gonna wrap it up real quick.
Wrap it up like a breakfast sandwich because I'm hungry.
Wrap it up. Ooh, a seasoned chicken. It's cheese. Shoot, I can't even say it.
Chicken
Chicken.
Caesar salad.
I want know. I want it wrapped in a spinach. Okay, that sounds. Ooh, yeah, yeah, ooh, yeah, 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 y'all. We gotta go because we hungry.
We are so
We
hungry.
hungry. Shoot, give me some suggestions for my meal prep. Put that in the comments.
Thank you so much for listening, and we will be back in your ears in 2 weeks, y'all.
Two.
Stay black.
Stay proud. And